Will, do you hear that? It sounds like someone is trying to hail us. That can't be. Well, carry on, continue. Warp speed, warp 5.
Yeah, no problem. See you later.
They're hailing us. Hailing frequencies open.
Captain, we're receiving 285,000 hails.
Wish I knew what to tell them.
All right, so hailing frequencies are open. Will, another week, another retrek. Watched some good episodes this week and listened to some good con stuff this week.
We did.
So, as we do every week, let's get right into some of these comments. We're going to start on our video where we talked about ensigns of command. So, starting us off here is Captain Alimar. He says, glad to hear your replies to the question and glad it started such a good, interesting discussion. To me, Roddenberry's version was a world where people didn't categorically dismiss you just because of your race or sex or nationality. I have not interpreted it that the people in the future can't have any conflicts with each other. They can disagree with each other. They just need to use logic and reasoning to persuade people. That's an interesting take. I like that
Yeah.
version much better.
Yeah, I can get behind
But I
that.
don't think that's what Roddenberry was going for though. But
I think
but I
I
like
think in
that.
a yeah, I think in a way, I think it's just a matter of trying to get his idea and then a whole bunch of like writers on around a table like have the same idea too.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things where it doesn't make for an interesting show if there's
It's
no
cer
conflict at all, you know?
it's certainly very difficult to write too. Like I would have a hard time writing that.
Yeah, because what else do you do? You have to make the aliens have conflict,
Right. The aliens are always the conflict.
but you can't make you can't make the Federation racist. Like they have to
Right.
agree with the way the aliens are. So
Yep.
again, there's no conflict. That's really funny. He continues here. He says Pulaski hated androids, and she only ever met one in her life. Wait, I don't think that helps my point. Maybe writers in the 60s had a hard time imagining drama that wasn't derived from sexism or racism. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, we have the lenses of being able to look back in time and say, ah, yes, antiquated beliefs and like racism and sexism and things of that nature. And it's like, but that was just their life. So,
Yeah.
it'll be the same thing when we're, 60 years from now, people will look back at us and they'll say, like, oh my goodness, like, ugh, gross people. That's just
Yeah.
it's just how it goes.
Yeah, that's true. It's just like how we look back at like early human history and be like, can you believe we used to like behead people in the streets?
Right, exactly.
I can't wait for them to look back and be like, can you believe people used to like watch shows and then like talk about them and like record it for people? Isn't that
Those people are
disgusting?
disgusting.
A bunch of weirdos. All right, so let's move on to our hailing frequencies open video where we talked about the survivors.
Yeah.
That's a good one. This is from Ed Mark Star. He says Star Trek, the animated series, simply rocks when seen in clip shorts. And then he sends us a link, which is cool.
It is cool and it was great. Yeah, and he sends us a clip of I think it's like the imposter. And it's like a
Hmm,
alien can turn like into people and into things. It can like turn into objects and people and stuff, and it's like hiding.
that's cool.
But it's only like a 3 to 5 minute clip. So yeah, I agree with him.
Yeah, that's cool. I like the animated series.
Animated series is pretty good.
It's pretty good. And we officially agree that it's canon.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Plus, I always hold very happily in my heart you doing young Spock like reaching up on the console, like, you got it, Captain. So it's a really good. It's forever on the internet.
Yep. And it makes no sense, but it's all right. It's still fun.
Wow, that's the point.
Yeah, I remember when I pointed that out to you guys. Like, did you guys see when like baby Spock like is still controlling the ship and you're like, no? And I was like, yeah, there's like a 3 second clip where he's like, and he's like he's like very small. It's great.
Very good. Yeah.
More of that, please. Maybe we'll get to see Spock next summer as a puppet. That'll be cool. I do really hope it was just them making like a trailer, like funny things for the trailer for the, yeah. It's already filmed. The whole episode's done.
Right, exactly.
They didn't want to put it in this season because it would have messed up the storyline that they were building this
Yeah, they
season.
didn't want to see the great protector of the prison as a puppet, so.
Yeah. Nelly got to cut her out of that episode next season. Oh my God. Okay. Let's not talk about Strange New Worlds anymore. All right. This comment here is from my office. This will help my
Oh
moods.
no, jeez.
See, I just say things and you take it like I'm being sarcastic and snarky, but I mean it. I legitimately mean it. Let me try to say it in a way where you believe me. Like
Now I definitely, whatever you do now, I definitely will.
I just can't wait to read this comment. Okay, he says, I 100% agree with Caleb's view on the cartoons. See, look at, I told you. Using Clone Wars as an example is so good. I was not a particular big fan of the prequel Star Wars movies, obviously, but shows like Clone Wars and Rebels fleshed all of that out so well and told so many good stories that I viewed the prequels now in a very different light.
Yeah,
So that was kind of my point. Like that's why I feel like that's always my go-to when I'm comparing stuff like that is
like, yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah. Like those prequel movies are so bad, but you watch the Clone Wars and you legitimately feel deeper for the characters. Like you feel really bad
Oh,
for,
100%. Absolutely.
like it shows them being friends and brothers. Like that line, you were my brother, Anakin, just doesn't hit in the movies because
Yeah, right,
he
because
was
it's like,
like the Padawan he didn't want to teach. But seeing them
yeah.
fight in the Clone Wars together, it's
Yep.
pretty good. He says, I understand that the tone of Lower Decks is not what you would consider typical Trek, but I do personally consider it and Prodigy canon. They fill us in on what's going on post Star Trek. Voyager in the Trek universe is a really fun way. Prodigy, in particular, is a show I think many have slept on. Once you get past the first 4 or 5 episodes, it really does blossom into its own thing and feels like a nice follow up to Star Trek Voyager. I also find Lower Decks to be really funny most times.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, I'm not
Prodigy's
in
the
the,
Nickelodeon one, right?
yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I haven't seen Prodigy all the way. I've only seen like the first 4 or 5 episodes.
Well, he's saying after that is when it's good.
Right, and that's when I stopped because I was like, oh, I don't enjoy this, and I stopped watching it.
That's when it gets good, Will.
Yeah, I know. But then once we started this, I was like, well, I don't really want to watch it without
Yeah.
Caleb. So,
Well, I'll
and
watch it in like 10 years. So,
yeah, it's no big deal. And same with
yeah.
Lower Decks is, like he said, almost every episode is pretty much funny all the way through. I think for the whole series, I think I didn't enjoy like 2 or 3 episodes, and there's like 40 or 50 episodes. So,
Yeah. No, there's an episode of Strange Worlds that I do really enjoy, even though I don't know a
mm,
lot about Lower Decks.
yeah,
Pretty
yeah,
fun episode.
yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, so I can't wait for 10 years. I can watch Lower Decks and Prodigy, and I can play Star Trek online. It's gonna be great.
Uh, I
It's gonna be
mean,
great. My 40s are gonna be just off the rails. So I'm
off
looking
the
forward to that.
rip.
And I just saw the season finale of Enterprise. So there's that.
No, you've seen that like 5 years earlier.
Okay, good.
You thought I was gonna say, no, that hasn't happened yet.
No, not yet. That's after. He says, it sounds like we've got a couple of good commercial ideas to film now. Phaser fight over proteins and Diva Wharf Snickers. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Was that before you made the Wharf Savage
No,
thing?
this was that video, and then I had to repost I like went through and did the whole thing, and then I put the overlay on, and I didn't go through and like confirm that the
Oh, oh, oh,
overlay
oh.
was on is underneath all of the like
That's right. I did see
comment
that. Yeah.
text. And I don't know what made me go to click on it. I think maybe I read Josh's thing here and I was like, oh, and I think I saw it. And I was like, oh, the overlay's on top of this. Well, this is stupid. I
Yeah.
thought about re-uploading it, but I was just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. I've done that before.
So I just posted the pictures to YouTube so that people could still look at them.
Yeah. It's pretty funny. Also, agree with Caleb on the Popcorn Award. I didn't get a chance to leave a comment for the survivors, but if I had, and you two had made it to the end of all 500,000 words, I would have also said Marina Sirtis for the Popcorn Award. She really sold that she was being mentally tortured. Speaking of, look forward to comments again from me next week. Bah ha 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 ha. Yes,
Maybe.
he won't.
Well, we might block him on the
Yeah, we just decided we only read Patreon comments now. Um, all right, now we can move on to our review of Who Watches the Watchmen. Remember that?
I do remember that.
Who Watches the Watchmen? It's all just a big joke. Starting us off is Ed Mark Star. You know him, you love him. Now get ready to see what he says. He says, there are two things always in short supply on series television: money and time. Lack of time often reveals itself when details feel shoehorned into the overall story. For example, social scientists want to study a primitive alien community, but when you make them Vulcan like primitives, you raise all kinds of questions that take time away from the actual story. The use of near Vulcans require backfilling of reasons for their existence. If lack of time causes the story patch to be skipped, you end up with a sloppy episode. Yeah. It's funny though, because I didn't even think about that till
Oh,
you brought it up. That like, yeah, that is weird that like Vulcans aren't observing the Vulcans.
yeah.
It's like it's a very obvious thing, but like,
Yeah, I don't know. If they were just like, oh, these are just aliens, then whatever. But because they
yeah,
specifically say proto-Vulcans, you're like, okay, so therefore you will have Vulcans everywhere.
nah, Vulcans don't exist in the show though.
That's true. Highly illogical.
Very once in a while.
Or as Josh would like us to say, that is greatly unreasonable.
Unreasonable, yeah. Interesting.
Yes, yeah.
But yeah, no, he makes a good point. Like that is a big thing. Like, okay, so like now we gotta explain like why these Vulcans are here. Why are they different? Why
100%.
are humans involved? Why, and to do all that, it takes away from the whole bigger issue, which is getting involved. That's the big storyline for that
Yeah, they
episode,
don't. Yeah, they don't think about that.
Yeah.
But it's all right. I mean,
Yeah.
the funny thing is, like, it's still a good episode despite
Hmm.
all of that. That's what's still pretty amazing. Like, it's got all that. It's got a pretty big hang up for me because it's kind of a wild thing to do in the show, and then the show ends up still being good. So
Yeah, I liked that episode a lot, actually. It was different.
exactly.
It was kind of like they took the storyline for like Sir Jenka, but they made it like, what if this was bigger and it was a lasting
Yeah,
effect? Why is the Prime Directive actually good? And you're like, yeah, no, because I always questioned it. And now after that episode, I was like, that's a pretty big ripple
yeah,
effect, you know?
yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, no, I liked it.
And it's very layered, right? It's very layered because it's like
Mm,
he Picard wins Nuria over, and then scenes later he's right back where he was, and you're like, oh, it's like,
yeah.
geez, it's like, oh yeah, that's right. It's not as easy as just saying some really good stuff. Like it's like people are there. She's still from a society that doesn't quite understand
Mm.
where things are at, no matter how
And it
good you
leaves
explain it.
it leaves off in this funny ground where like I still feel like centuries from now they're still going to be worshiping Picard.
I'm sure. I mean, really,
Because like now the story is going to be like, well, this, person from
yeah,
the stars came down here and informed us about that we're not the only people in the galaxy. His name was Picard. Translates down to like 1,000 years. It's now like Picard was this god entity that came down and like bestowed knowledge.
yes,
You know what I mean?
exactly,
Like it's
yes,
still, yeah,
absolutely.
pretty good. Yeah. So he continues and he says, Who Watches the Watchers was an enjoyable episode at first viewing back in 1989. All the flaws only appear under retrek review analysis. That's funny. That's really funny. The shortcuts and time savers stand out in a way that makes you wonder if stories get a proper proof reading. Yeah. I know that is funny that like because of us it like really tears stuff apart.
Yeah, because again, it always boils down to it. When you watch it, you just watch it and you like it. But then when you're like, okay, let's now actually connect all the dots that you've given us.
Like,
Yeah.
wait. That's what the show is, yeah. I always love Ed's comments because he's always like, this episode was great when I watched it back in 1989 as a
Yes.
child. But then you guys did a review and I totally realized that it sucks. It's like, sorry if we're ruining Star Trek for you.
Nah, he must like us talking about it.
Yeah.
I think him and our other viewers, I think they realize that like we do actually like Star Trek. And so
Yeah.
when we pick at it, we're not picking at it to be like, look how stupid it is. It's
Hmm.
like if only
Yeah.
X, Y, and Z happened, it could be such a phenomenal episode or series or whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I think we pick at it from a place of like love and
yeah,
admiration for like the show. We're not
yeah,
like
yeah, exactly.
hating on it.
No,
I feel like
no,
our reviews of Strange New Worlds this season has been the other extreme where it's just kind of like
yeah.
I'm not enjoying this like at all.
No. But the funny thing
The
is like when you go back to the episode, our last episode, and you watch the end credit Doug thing,
oh yeah.
like we wholeheartedly
Oh
enjoyed
yeah.
that, and that's, I mean, that's foolish, right? That's like that's over here, Strange New World,
Yeah.
silly content, but we
Oh
loved
man.
it. So
Yeah. I rewatch that probably once a week. So so there you go. Well, let's speaking of if hoping Ed still likes the show, let's see what he thinks about the show. He says, I like this episode enough to give it one Akuda.
that's right.
So we're staying in the Akuda range. So that's cool. My popcorn award goes to Catherine Scott as Nuria.
He likes
That's a good
Naria.
choice.
It is a good choice.
We'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see.
We'll see how the tide swings when we get there.
Yeah, who knows?
Nobody certainly knows what they're gonna give.
Even I don't. And I'm giving it. So let's keep going. This is from Captain Alimar. He says the Mintakins are beginning to believe in a god, and the only one they've chosen is you. Season 3, baby. Yeah, good stuff this week. Three Akudas, classic episode.
You gave it three kudos just like you.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, honestly, season 3 has really been just above and beyond so far.
Yeah, even like Evolution that was kind of like meh was
Hmm.
better than most of the stuff we've been watching.
Yeah, I know. It just has a completely different tone for some reason. It's crazy. Yeah, interesting. The best episodes start with a bang, and right away we get the research team getting exploded. Not sure why, like you guys said, but makes for good TV.
It
Yeah.
does. It certainly does.
Their battery was low. I still don't understand why I'm bringing these batteries.
That part when I went back in the edit and like was finding it, it's even worse because you can bear it's on the screen. I in my
Hmm.
mind when we were talking about it, I could like visually see the
Well,
explosion and
yeah.
them like fall. But then in the actual episode, it's a camera shot on the main viewer that's like staticky and like glitched, and it's just like, okay, even the production staff knew like this doesn't look good, so just like special effects,
Yeah, they just had like smoke come out of it.
right.
And then one guy falls to the ground and then he stands up and then jumps out the window, like specifically on purpose. It's just like,
Yeah.
do, 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 do. Also, not sure why the research team has to be on the planet itself. Why not put the facility in orbit? Bronze Age Vulcans won't see anything in orbit, except maybe a new star. Hardly a race-changing discovery.
So I agree with him, and it
Good
does
point.
make sense. But the only thing I can say that this episode presents to us, and I maybe it's an arguing point, I don't know, is that when they're scanning, Troy's stuck on the planet and they're scanning her and the Mintakins. They don't know which one's Nuria, so she has to, use vocal commands to say which one's which. And that was the thing we talked about in the episode. That means the scanners don't give you like good images of who's who. You just get like biometrics on the planet.
Yeah.
So it makes me think if you had like an observation satellite orbiting the planet, that like they wouldn't get like nuance and like really heavily detailed things.
Yeah.
That's what I'll pose.
Yeah, and the thing can only zoom in so far too to see like the episode of the survivors. It just zoomed in enough to see that there was like a house like in greenery.
Right.
But so here's what I'll add to that.
Yeah.
Why couldn't the scientists have just been dressed like the Monakans,
Impossible.
just in case something bad happened, right?
No. You would never want to
No,
look you wouldn't want to look like them all the
no,
time.
they have to know that they are Federation.
Oh man. I think your point is the most upsetting.
Yeah, it's always the most upsetting. Just dress like them in case,
How did you fall from the cliffs, brother? Oh, I don't know.
my portable sundial seems to be damaged.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah.
I'll just keep that over here.
Oh boy. All right. He says, now I have to disagree with Caleb about why
Oh,
they would want to study the aliens. It's part two of the seek out new life and new civilization things Picard says at the beginning of every episode. They want to study them because they are here and are interesting. I liked Will saying they should have had a Vulcan scientist since the people are clearly related. Yeah, yeah, I'm fine with that. It was just one of those things where it was like at the end of the episode, the main Vulcan guy was like, I don't understand why you want to like watch us. And Picard gave this answer that was not what Olimar just said. His point
makes sense.
but makes
Right.
sense. Like Picard saying like, that's our job. We're here to like reach out and study new alien species and get to know alien species and stuff. But that's not what he says. He says we wanted to see like where our history came from.
Yeah.
Like, but it's not your history. He's basically saying like, well, you're basically like cavemen, and like we came from cavemen, and we wanted to see like how you develop over the next 1,000 years to see like, hey, that's probably how we developed over the past 10,000 years. It's like, okay, we already know how we developed as humans, you know,
Right.
and like to that point, it's like he's explaining to her like, well, our ancestors lived in caves and. Then we built like stick huts and now we fly in space. It's like, okay, great. So why watch these people live in stick huts? You know where
Right.
the next progression is going.
Right.
So that was my point. Just him explaining it at the end was like, it's
Yeah, totally.
kind of a lame way to explain it. But yeah, no, the seek out new life that I get. And there they sit killing time by the sun. That's all I
Easy.
remember from that episode is they used the sundial.
Yeah. Perfect. You've seen the episode.
Okay, he says, forgot to mention in last week, but long gone are the days of cheesy sets. Real nature. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. Sure makes the show look good right away, and for free, particularly. Just gotta drive to a place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
practically.
Nah, there's no like nice scenery in California. I mean, no. They didn't film like a lot of other space stuff out in California, but yeah, it like immediately takes the believability of the show up by like 3 points. I mean, just like right off the bat. And they're just like, beam us down. They beam down like, wow, look at we're at a real outdoor place. You're like, yeah, yeah, you are.
Yes,
You
you
are.
are.
But where's the swamps and the stick trees? That's what I want to know.
That's what I want to
Where's the
see.
tinfoil boulders? Good stuff. He says, liked when Will mentioned how funny it was when the human guy gets dragged into the village and Riker's argument that the guy was just dreaming gets shattered.
It's really funny.
Yeah. It was pretty funny when Riker says to Picard that he gave them a belief system and it's like the worst thing that they could have done. Yeah, it's like legitimately the worst. It would have been better if they just said like, "Hey, we're aliens."
Ah,
And like, "Oh, aliens. We're not alone." But it was like, oh no, 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 no. I'm a god, and I can resurrect all the dead children from the flood. Like that's like the worst thing that could have happened.
yeah.
Picard has some moments of being a bit heartless, and I liked Caleb mentioning that Beverly fights against the Prime Directive. Makes for an interesting dynamic. Yeah, and she totally did not wipe that guy's memory at all. Just, I'm 100% saying that that's a fact that she did not do that.
Team no anti-mind wipe.
No. Would you mind wipe your children?
Oh,
Beverly wouldn't. Uh,
the Picard! The Picard! Just got staying out in the field, like just screaming. Yeah.
it's just one of those funny things they were, and then Riker immediately is like, "Well, the memory wipe must not have worked too well." Like, yeah, that's if she even did it, dude.
She's fooled you all.
I mean, she very blatantly said like, "Hey, so Pulaski's thing, it's not like a real medical
Trash.
science. It's just she kind of made it up, and she's kind of cuckoo." So now I won't be doing that. It's way too dangerous for the brain.
That's pretty funny.
That is really funny. That's why they don't show it, but like Sarjenka, she like wakes up and then runs out immediately into the lava because she has no recollection of like what. Riker, could you not just abandon your fellow crewmate on alien planets? Did Troy forgive him for that? She almost got sacrificed. Yeah, I know. And like we really dug into it, but the whole like la-da-da-dee-dee-dee-dee. Hey, what's going on the planet side? I just got up here, got out of my
Yeah.
makeup, totally changed in my uniform, had a shower, stopped at the mess hall.
Yeah.
Oh, Troy's surrounded.
Oh,
Probably should have stayed on the planet.
Oh,
I
that's
would
what
have,
I.
man, if I came up with a plan that I could have beamed all three of us out.
Hmm, no.
Well, oh well. I hear there's pie for dessert. The best parts of the episode is easily when Picard is showing Nuria around the Enterprise and trying to convince her that he's not a god, and he makes great arguments to her. Yes, that is the best part
Yes.
of the episode.
Yes.
Great scene with the man dying to finally show her how they are not yet all powerful. Pretty sure that was a lady that was
It is a
dying.
lady. Yes, it is a lady. But he does say,
All powerful yet. Oh, foreshadowing?
remember, that's what
Oh.
Q says. Remember? What he
Riker
would
is a
be.
Q. So.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Picard takes that arrow like a champ, and all to show that he's a mortal man. Powerful stuff. Probably hurt a ton too. Yeah, I would. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I would imagine so. Great stuff as always, guys. Thanks a ton to special guest Joshua for appearing on this week's episode. Keep up the good work, guys.
He flipped the script. Now he was happy that Josh
Yeah,
was
now
on.
he's having. Yeah, yeah. No, that was fun.
It was fun.
And then he says the popcorn to Naria. Great extra this week. Wow. Now I have to
Two.
come up with somebody else. So I don't agree with two people.
Well,
That's
you
pretty
got
funny.
one last one.
Yeah, but this is gonna be stupid.
Oh, okay.
So yes, so as you said, last one here is from my office. He says, I have to say that nothing this Joshua guy says makes any sense. Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much for having me on the show. It was a lot of fun. Guess I won't get to leave you a super long comment this week, but I do want to give you my popcorn award. Patrick Stewart.
Look at that.
Wow. Enjoy the break because next time you'll be getting a full dissertation. I have altered the deal.
Ray, that I do not alter.
Pray to
further.
Picard that I do not comment further. It's really good.
So, with this in mind, the peer pressure is surmounting. Oh, Caleb, who does get the Popcorn Award for being the best actor of the episode? We have Catherine Scott as
Mhm.
Nuria and Patrick Stewart as Picard. Those are your heated peer pressure. What's your answer?
It was the scientist guy that jumped out the window. Now, so let me do this. Let me be nice for once. Because Josh was the special guest, I'm going to say it's Neria. No, let's do Patrick Stewart. I'll agree with him this week.
Yeah,
He helped me out of a jam last week. He gave me the best quote when I couldn't think of a quote.
that's true.
So, yeah, I agree with him. Picard, Neria is really great in this. Like as like a
Yeah,
not main cast member, but like she was really good. But I think him reasoning and explaining with her was really good. And I think also him talking to that scientist guy being like, this is ridiculous. I don't want this to happen. Like we need to stop this.
right.
That scene in the writing room was really good. And
I agree.
then he shows up at the end and gives a big lecture and gets an arrow.
Yeah, he's pretty great through the
That's
whole thing. So,
yeah.
yeah,
I feel like season 3 particularly has been Picard being a good captain consecutively.
definitely.
Because man, when we first started season 1, I was just like, I don't understand why everybody likes Picard, like as a captain. He's very like I get the concept. He's very like military. He's very brash. He's very by the books, and like that's cool. But like that's not what I was looking for in a Starfleet captain. But no, this
Right.
season he's like he still has those aspects which I enjoy,
Well, yeah.
but he's very much more like in tune with the crew, and I think maybe
Yes.
that is just because they've served longer now
Yeah.
in the storyline, but also I
Right.
just think it's better written.
Yeah. Totally. It's a thing where it benefits like the show being kind of rough and bumpy in the beginning. As you've said in the past, it kind of lends to them just being like they're a new crew all working together, so stuff is kind of like rough.
Yeah.
And so now by the third year of them being together, like they're a pretty good united team and they all work off of each other really well. So I think the writing room changing and the executive producers changing just lends to the show feeling like this is just how it naturally progresses rather than what the reality of it is.
Yeah, I
It's
think so.
nice. it's nice because like going back and like, now rewatching everything, it's always been a line in the sand that like 3 is like that's when the show gets good, and you have
Mm.
your like 4, 5, 6 episodes from season 1 and season 2 that are like fun and they're good and stuff like that. But I was even when I was looking ahead at like what season 3 has to bring, obviously there's some like episodes in season 3, but it's been really nice to just consistently have like a good episodes to sink our teeth into instead of like you and I talking for like an hour and a half about how like stupid it was, trying to find
I
something good
en-
about it.
I enjoy much more looking forward to like when there's going to be a bad episode
Mm, mm.
than looking forward to when there's going to be a good episode.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. Yeah, I agree with that.
And so
Yeah,
far, none. I would say none. Obviously, you've seen my reviews. I've given everything 2, 3 kudos. So, there's always next week, buddy.
it's true. There's definitely probably 2 on here that I will get Kazinzi's. Yeah, I'm pretty sure of it. I definitely
Okay,
think though
good.
there's going to be probably a couple 3s though that I don't think you're anticipating.
No, I never am. I gotta see the Romulans again. I gotta see the Borg again. That's it. That's all I'm looking for.
That's it. That's all I'm counting for.
So I'm
Yeah,
waiting for it, baby. Yeah, so there you go. Crazy. Another week. Every time we do
I know.
these, it's just crazy. Like every time like a video pops up and I was like, man, 2 years ago. So it popped up on my feed the other day. I went back and I watched our episode of The Cage. And I was
Mhm.
just like, this is rough. This is rough.
It is rough,
It's pretty
but
rough, right?
it stands as it stands as a pillar.
Yeah. But look at where we've come.
Exactly. And funny enough, I think with this booby trap that we do next marks our actual season 3 premiere. It's just the way I have the cycle going that starts our season 3. I do like a season is like 50 something episodes. So like
The podcast season.
yeah, podcast season, right. So it's once like 50 episodes come, that's season 1 and then another 50
Have
season 2.
you Yeah, I know because even our Dragon Ball titles get really like long to like add that to the title. It's
Yeah, so perfect example. Remember, risk is our business. Well, that's season 1, and then now, uh,
oh oh
right,
the
and
intro
then
is different.
the intro is different. Yeah,
Sneaky
yeah,
SOB. So you got a new intro planned for
yeah, I
next week's
do.
episode?
I do.
Yes, yes. I can't
Yeah,
wait for it to be more references I don't even understand yet.
we'll see.
Maybe there'll be good ones that I know, and I'm like, hey, I remember these. Yeah.
It'll just be spoiler content, just straight up like just this
Just
full like 10-second shots of just there is no doubt what this is spoiling.
okay.
Great.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us again on this another Hailing Frequencies Open, where each week we enjoy hearing what you guys have to say and we like talking about it. And sometimes we add a little bit extra to the episode that we already talked about. I don't know how we can find more juice in the orange, but we do sometimes. So
We eat the pulp.
we eat the pulp, I eat the skin. Great. All right. So we will see you guys next week for Booby Trap, and then you'll see me again on Hailing Frequencies Open. So look forward to that.
Sure.
So do all the YouTube things, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, comment so we can read them, and join our Patreon if you so choose. You get lots of cool stuff. You get cool stickers drawn by this idiot right here. They're pretty fun. They're like little inside jokes to the show.
Yeah.
Will loves every time when I send him one, he says, oh no, I don't know about this one. And I say, you're going to send it to the patrons. They're going to love it. I don't care what you say.
That's the exact dynamic that we have.
Yeah, that's us to a T. So
That's yeah.
yeah, and then until then, we will see you guys next week when Will opens the hailing frequencies on the USS Retrek. But for now, Will, what I need you to do is I need you to close hailing frequencies.
All right.
I like how it's a different button every week. That's my favorite. This ship doesn't have keys.
Oh my god.
Wait, that's the nuclear launch key.